Hi, I'm Mary, and this is
Sharon,
and we're part of the Kukista community
with a K.
So we're here today to learn more about LDM, but briefly, Sharon, what I'd like you to do is tell us what a tincture is. We're going to have a video about tinctures that go more in depth, but just briefly before we talk about LDM, I'd like you to explain what it is.
Okay, so as we know, we're working with plants, and a lot of times if you grind up the plant and put it in a capsule and take it, you're going to get a lot of the plant and the medicinal properties. If you put it into a tea and filter it, you're going to get more medicinal properties. If you stir it and boil it, you're going to get even more. Well, when you put it into a tincture, you put it into alcohol and it extracts everything out of the plant. The chlorophyll, all the properties of the live plants that are medicinal, and then you just filter the carcass out of it. So this is a tincture.
All right, and we'll have another video and you're going to show us how to use the dropper and everything with this. But what I want to know about, what does LDM stand for? Tell us a few minutes what LDM is.
Okay, so this video is we're going to feature LDM, which means Lomatium Dissectum Multifuda.
So
you can see why we call it LDM. Okay, so it's just an easy way to. It's an old herbal Native American herb that it's been around for 100 years as far as we know, because in the early 1900s, 1918, when the influenza was wiping out literally the world, there was a government contracted doctor that found this root hanging from the Washoe Indian tribe in Carson City, Nevada. And at that time, they had just developed 2 antibiotics and sulfur drugs, and nobody wanted an old Indian herb. So 100 years later, we've got our old Indian herb here again that really helps with, it's our #1 most powerful herb.
Okay, so tell us where it's grown.
Okay, well now that's kind of a really interesting thing, because we learned that LDM is only grown in the northwestern part of the United States. In the whole world, that's the only place it's found. So Kukista wildcrafts it, which means that we send our herbal people out into the hills and mountains of the northwestern part of the United States, and we collect it and cut it and dry it and process it in small, nice little batches.
Right where we are.
Right here in Idaho.
Right here in Idaho. Handcrafted in Idaho. So now that we know that fascinating story, which is a great story, what this says, it says it may support an antiviral, antifungal, and it's an antibiotic.
Natural antibiotic.
A natural antibiotic. So will you go into some details about, because what I understand, it helps with the flus and colds and cold sores and warts. Will you kind of go in and describe that for us?
Well, what happens is anything that is antiviral, or even down to pneumonia and bronchitis, it's unbelievable for those kinds of really medical issues. And influenza, if you hear that your husband's coming home from the office and everybody's sick with the flu, well, I start taking it right away, and if I even get a little bit of it, it's cut down by 10 times. I only get it for a little bit of time, and it's not the full-blown flu bug. A lot of people take it as wellness. They'll go ahead and as soon as flu season starts, they start taking LDM all through the flu season. I find that I just don't really get sick very often, and I know it's due to LDM. It's just been a really great preventative wellness plant.
So what you're saying, okay, for us that don't know about this, that you don't get very many colds or the flu very often because you use it as a preventative care.
Yes.
You do. So you know that
Either or.
So you can use it if you have the flu, or if you just want to take it throughout the year, you can just take it. That's what you're saying.
And a lot of times I find it's the flu season.
That's when you want to take it.
That's when you want to start. Starting in the late fall and go on through probably January, when most of that is really the time where you really do get that kind of bug that runs through the community. And again, if you catch a flu bug, start taking it right away, and it's going to cut it down by a long shot. It'll cut it down.
So how many drops if you're using it as a preventative care versus if you're sick?
Same.
Okay, so how many?
So, it says 3 to, again, it depends, because this is an interesting thing about LDM. Because it's so powerful, what will happen a lot of times is your body's all built up with all kinds of gunk and crud. So you take your LDM in and it starts dropping it down. Well, 1 in about 200 people will get a harmless rash, and what that says is that it's dropping so many toxins that your body's filtering system can't handle it. So your skin's another organ, and it starts coming out your skin. So if that happens, stop taking it, start it again when the rash is gone, and I think it kind of builds up some kind of immunity, because I only have heard of persons getting 1 rash and that's it.
And that's it.
So again, it's your tolerance. When you ask dosage on it, we've got the dosage on the back.
Suggested dosage.
Yeah, all over on the back. Start with the lower dosage and build up according to your tolerance is the best advice.
Okay, I have, I think, one last question that I am curious about. Now, we talked about it being for warts or cold sores. Is that something I would ingest, or can I actually put that on the cold sore?
Yes.
You can.
So, yes,
Okay.
Topically, it's really a good thing to if you do have cold sores, on your mouth, inside your mouth, just topically like that. Warts the same way. Fungus in your fingernails, your feet.
That's right, like athlete's
yes.
foot.
But what I would suggest too is that you actually take it internally as well as topically, because that means that there's something kind of going on internally that's making it come out topically.
Okay, so do it both ways. Well, that is a lot of information in a short amount of time.
I hope it helps.
So signing off, Mary
And Sharon.
from the Kukista community.